Hello everyone. It's December 5th and you're with Crafting with Baby Girl in the Countdown to Christmas series. Sorry, had to get all that out. Today we're on the 5th day, and as I've mentioned, we're using I stuffed my the gifts inside of just a lunch sack that I got at Walmart. And this is a Christmas tree that I cut out with my Cricut. And the December 5th, I cut out on Oracle 651 vinyl with my Cricut because I think it's easier to adhere it this way than having to glue each little individual letter down. So that's what we've got. So let's find out what we've got in our bag. This is probably my favorite one. Yay! They're in baggies, so they're Hershey's Christmas trees. Hershey Christmas trees. Just kind of pull them out. So this is just kind of a Christmas tree, and that's what we're gonna make today. I don't know if you can really see it. We'll be able to see it because I'll have them outside the plastic. With ribbon around the outside, and then another different candy at the trunk. Now we're gonna make the trunk a little bit different. These were one of the first ones I made, and I've changed it. Not all of the Reese's cups, I used Reese's cups, and not all of the Reese's cups were sealed, and so that concerned me, so I ended up covering them, so we'll go over that. So that's what we've got. So let's get started. Put these away first. I think I've mentioned that I take these, I have them all sealed up, but then I take them out to do the video before my kids get a chance to do it, so I have to seal them back up. Okay, for this video, you're going to need 6 inches of half a sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. You're going to need some score tape, some ribbon. I guess you could use adhesive of your choice. You could use glue. Take a little bit longer. A scoreboard, and a cutting board. So I actually kind of prepped this one already, as it takes a little bit longer, and I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter. So I used the other half of this paper, and what we're going to do is you're going to cut 3 strips at 2 inches each. So 2 inches by 12. 2 of those strips you're going to cut down to 11 inches. So 2 by 11. And you're going to score at the 1 inch mark. So score longwise on the long down the middle at 1 inch. So it's going to be folded in half. On both of these are the same. And then so I guess the short way you're going to do the 1 inch. And then on the long inch, you're going to score at 1 inch. I don't know if you can see this. See if I can make it so you can see the score lines at all. You're going to score every inch all the way down. And you'll see when we start folding this how that works out. But so you have 2 sheets like that. 11 by 2 scored at every inch. Both ways, actually. Then the other one is scored down the middle that way at 1 inch, and then you score it. This piece is 10 1/8 inches long, and you're going to score it at, let's see, 3 1/4, 6 1/2, and 9 3/4. So each little section is 3 1/4 inches long, and then you have a ½ inch left over at the end to fold over. And that's what we're going to work with first. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is fold these in half. And I'm going to go ahead and fold all of them in half. Burnish them. And the reason is, now, typically this part I would just use wet glue, but since we're on a time frame, you know, that makes it so I have to dry. I'm going to do both. I'm going to do score tape along the edge, just so that it's got the holds, the immediate holds. And then I'm going to put some wet glue inside on here as well. I guess I should take this off first. I'm just taking off the paper cover. And this is Ultimate Glue. It's called Ultimate Glue. I'll show you the package in just a sec. And I water it down just a little bit because it's really thick glue, which is great, but I don't need it. So that's the Ultimate Glue. I love it. That's what I use. Pull it off frame, sorry. Mostly because I wanted, if any of the glue squished out, because I saw I put it in the wrong spot. I didn't want it on my display paper. So that has been closed. Now the score tape will help keep it closed immediately while it's drying. And then it'll stay tight. We're going to do this one too. Oops. That's not good. The nice thing is that'll be on the inside, so that won't show. But it dries clear, so that is good too. I'm going to do both of these. And do them at the same time. And score tape. So this, you can see where this is just a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more intricate, or just a few more steps than the other crafts we've been doing. Most of these crafts I've tried to keep very simple. I do have a couple coming up that are a little bit more intricate. This is being one of them. Set aside a little bit more time, but still we should be able to keep the video in the about the same 15 to 20 minute range, which is what I'm going for. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and take this off. And the reason we're doubling this is so that it has, because this is the structure, it's going to hold everything together. So this just makes it a little bit thicker, a little bit more dense. And I chose to use, my other ones were a little bit, sorry, I went off screen again. I just don't want to get glue on my paper. So all I'm doing is just burnishing it. Kind of make sure that everything is getting smashed together. But sometimes the glue leaks out a little bit, and I didn't want the glue on my display paper. You know, then it'll just get sticky and everything looks kind of nasty since we're on camera. And although we're not doing this live, I'm not editing these videos. So if anything happens, you'll see. The only thing is yet where yesterday's, this is too much in one spot. I'm just there. I put a little too much glue on the ends, so I'm just kind of using my finger to smear it down. Yesterday my camera died, so I had to do a little bit of editing there, but still basically not editing. Since I am still fairly new to this, and my earlier videos I did on my iPhone, and now I'm using a camera, so kind of getting used to all this. Again, when off camera, I'm just burnishing it just to make sure that everything is put together. Okay, now this next step is just really quick. We're going to cut, this is bugging me, a little bit of the tape got out here. Okay. One of these pieces we're going to keep at 11 inches. The other one we're going to cut 4 inches off. So if we go over 4 inches, and we're just going to cut on that score mark. It's just easier to do after we've glued it. So now we have 3 pieces. We have one that's 11, one that's 7, and one that is 4. And we're going to take those aside for a minute, and we'll work with them in a minute, or in a little bit. This is going to be that, we're taking the 10 and an 1/8 inch piece, and this is the one we're going to work with now. That's why I did it first. We're going to, on that score, on each of the score marks, we're going to bend it and make sure that it's straight. Trying to make sure I'm staying in frame on each of those. Alright. So you can put this on the outside. That helps to make it so that it can't go that way. Or on the inside, it's just got that gives it a little bit cleaner look. It's kind of up to you. Depends on what you're going to use it for. I think today we're going to put it on the inside. And I'm going to use score tape here. And that piece is a little big, so we'll just bend it back over. No, not big. I thought it was too big. And just a warning, my husband's going to be coming in the door. Oh, I wanted to put just a little bit of wet glue on here because we want this really strong, because this is where it's going to get torn. I mean, like, or it's got to stay together or the whole thing falls apart. Alright, so just kind of putting that right there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My husband's about to come in the door, and since I'm in the living room, he's gonna not know I'm filming, and he's gonna make noise. So we'll see how that goes, since I have to tell him to be quiet. So we're gonna let that dry, but you can see we have a triangle. That's him. So I'm going to end up having to edit this after all. We'll come back and do this next set, and I'm gonna pause the video. See you in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back. Let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold on all of these inch marks. And actually they're going to all go the same direction on here. Just go ahead and kind of make sure they're straight. Now on this little piece, because we're on that 4-inch piece, what we're going to do is it's going to get glued into a triangle too. So I'm going to take a little bit of score tape on this side and a little bit of score tape on the other edge. And this one doesn't really need wet glue. You can put wet glue if you want. Okay, so my husband's making noise. Now he's going outside. Now we have a triangle. And the cool thing about this is where our Hershey... Oh, you need Hershey's Kisses for this. This is kind of smushed. Make it look pretty. And this is where your Hershey's Kiss is going to go. And it's going to fit in there like that. So we'll come back and fix that. Now we're going to do these ones. Or the other strips, and they're, just go ahead and fold them to start with. Some of them will go the other direction, but we're gonna make them into little triangles. So this goes up like this, and then this one's gonna fold over and down, and then this one's gonna fold up. So now we have a piece like this. That's how that one goes. That one we'll set aside for a moment as well. The big one goes on the bottom, so just make sure everything is straight, and we're going to fold these again. Keep folding. Keep folding. Keep folding. Just want to fold, make sure each one of those is folded, because we're going to do the same thing with this strip that we did with the last one. Only we do it a few more times. Oops, that one didn't go straight. You want those straight because that's what's going to make it look nice. That glue is starting to set. Okay. So we're going to make the triangles again. So make the first triangle, and then the second triangle, and the third. You see how we kind of go up and then down and then back up. Now this, if you hold it together like this, fits into your frame like that, and makes it it's a little loose at this point, but that's where our Hershey's Kisses are going to go. Then we want to put this one together, and that's the next level. So you can see how that works. And then this one is your top triangle. Now you want to make sure that the folded edges are all facing the same direction and that the not folded, the open sides are facing the same direction. So it just gives it a cleaner look. So that's how that goes. Then you take your Hershey's Kisses. And I found these Hershey's Kisses at Kroger. That's the store here in Georgia. And they have little Christmas bells on them, so I thought they were perfect for this. And I find that sticking the top in first and then sliding it in makes it easier. So, and I usually do the ones facing up first. And then I'll turn the tray around. Push this in. And that. Okay. As it gets a little tighter, it gets a little bit, or I mean, as you get more in there, it gets a little bit tighter. They kind of hold themselves in, so just kind of play with it and work with it. Now, I'll be completely honest. I ate one of my Hershey's Kisses before I filmed this, so I'm short one of the pretty ones. So, see, you can see it gets a little bit sticky. We'll have two of the plain ones in there, but it still looks good. So you can see they stay in. Make sure it's all straight, and how nice and tight it looks. Now what we're gonna do is run some ribbon around the outside. You want to do this before we put the trunk on, because the trunk will go. The trunk will go over the ribbon, so it'll cover the ribbon. So again, I don't usually measure. I just kind of wrap it around and figure out how much I need. So about that much. And then I find it's easier to put this down if I just run some score tape. So I'm just going to put a strip of score tape along the inside, just down the middle of the ribbon. Like that. Burnish it. Peel off the outside. And I want this to go at the bottom because that way, and make sure, like, however your ribbon is, that directional, that it's facing the way you want it to face. It's kind of facing out. But this way the trunk can cover the seam. You just kind of run it down the middle. Now there's so much more you can do to embellish it. I've seen ones where they put a star at the top. But for me, this just seemed to work just fine. Especially with the jingle bells on the wrappers. Alright. So this says Merry Christmas. Now, I told you in the beginning that I covered my kisses. I decided to cover them. So I just took brown cardstock. And I tell you the dimensions of this, but it kind of depends on what candy you use. I used the miniature Reese's cup. But you could also go ahead and use like a couple of the Hershey miniatures or one of the some of the other Hershey chocolates. And for this, I just do the same thing. Put on a little bit of score tape. And now this one you could add wet glue to it if you want, because it's just kind of hanging there. And it might add a little bit more security to it. So we'll put just a tiny bit of glue, wet glue down the middle. Okay. And then we're going to center it on the bottom. Line everything up. And there we go. We have our Christmas tree. Isn't that cute? Doesn't have to make a little gift. I've wondered about putting a hole in the top right here and making it so that they could hang on the Christmas tree. But I didn't do that this year. So maybe next year we'll figure that out. But there you go. So that was our day 5. Stay tuned for day 6. If you want to find out when I'm going to be posting, when I post day 6, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and next to it there's a little bell. And if you click on that, it'll let you know when I actually upload the next video. And go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want, leave a comment in the comment section. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.